Hey everyone, Mr. Telford here. Hope you all are having a great day. So I've been kind of brainstorming some different things that I could be doing in these videos to help teach you guys some skills. Most of the skills that we've been talking about so far have mostly been about your mental health, about reducing anxiety, worry, what to do when we're bored, using those coping strategies that we've been talking about. But I was thinking that it might be useful or beneficial to you guys if I maybe taught you some different skills, maybe some more what are called practical skills, especially in these times where you guys are home more often. Your parents might need you guys to help out around the house more. They might be asking you to do different chores, or you might have responsibilities that you didn't have before. So I thought it might be a good idea to teach you guys some useful skills to help out around the house a little bit more. So for today, I have a very, very important guest with us today, sitting right over there. He's very skilled in what he does. From what I know, he didn't go to school, or he's not professionally trained in what he's going to be teaching you all today, but he's very, very skilled in what he does. So without further ado, our special guest for today, his name is, and forgive me, he's not from around here, so forgive me if I say your name wrong. Chef Delicious Tomato? It is pronounced Chef Delicio Tomate. I am professional amateur chef Delicio Tomate, and I am here because I hear you all are spending a lot more time at home and you might be able to help out around the house more. So what I hope to do is teach you all how to make some very easy and delicious meals that you probably have all the ingredients for already in your home. Before we get to the cooking, this is very, very important. Do not do any cooking without the supervision and permission from your parents. Do not just start doing this without them knowing about it, okay? Do not get Chef Delicio Tomate in trouble, because even though all the things that I hope to teach you in cooking and in the basics of cooking, it can still be very dangerous. So you need to make sure you have parent supervision and permission before you try anything that I'm about to show you. Maybe I need to flash like a big warning sign, or I think I need to shave my mustache. I'm gonna go shave my mustache. Okay, anyway, I am still Chef Delicio Tomate, and I am still here to show you how to make some very simple and delicious dishes with your parents' permission and supervision. Let's go. Hello everyone, and welcome to the kitchen of renowned chef Tomate Delicioso. Today, we are going to be making one of my favorite meals. Maybe you've heard of it. Macaroni and cheese. It's a classic, and there's a good chance that you've got a box of macaroni and cheese in your pantry. Pro tip number 1, safety is key in the kitchen. We're gonna talk a lot about safety today while making this, making sure that we're staying safe while cooking. Pro tip number 2, make sure you wash your hands and wash them often. I'm gonna wash mine right now. Okay, washed my hands, feeling clean, feeling safe. And you know, while we're on the topic of safety and making sure we're staying safe while cooking, why don't we go ahead and rerun that little warning. Just remember guys, no cooking without your parents' permission and supervision. They should be with you and they should give you permission to be cooking. Got it? Next thing that I like to do is whenever I'm starting a recipe, I like to look at all the ingredients and I like to gather all of them so I have them all ready for me. To make macaroni and cheese, we'll just take a look on the box here. According to the box here, it looks like we're gonna need water, we're gonna need butter, and we're gonna need some milk. I'm gonna go grab that stuff. All right, I got my milk and my butter. The water is in the sink, so that's good to go, and I got my box of macaroni and cheese. So then we look at the cooking instructions. The very first step is to boil the water. Let's give it a shot. All right. I've got my pot of water here ready to turn on the heater. Here's our next safety tip for you. This is going to get very hot, obviously, and you don't want this handle hanging over the side where you might bump into it, okay? So always keep the handle towards the inside of the stovetop. That'll make sure that you keep safe as much as possible. So because we're trying to get this water to a boil, we're gonna go ahead and turn that all the way up to high. And now we wait. So we got a few minutes while this water comes to a boil. One question I always get asked about myself and my expertise is people will always say, whenever you say your name, it sounds French. But when you're talking any other time, it doesn't come out as French. And I say, what's so French about my name? It's simply Chef Delicioso Tomate. It's just how you say it. I don't know what's French about that. All right guys, it's been a few minutes here. Water is just about to boil, and you can't quite see it yet. There's stuff on the bottom, but it's not quite boiling up to the top. So now's a great time to look at our next instruction on the box. So it looks like we're gonna wanna stir in the macaroni for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Very important about macaroni and cheese, before you just dump it in, inside the box, there's your cheese packet. Take that out. So now we're just gonna dump that in there. Gonna give it a little stir. And once it gets back up to a boil, yeah, it's already boiling again. I'm gonna turn it down actually. Maybe to about there. And I'm gonna set my timer for 7:30. Okay, that's going. Every once in a while, I'm just gonna give this macaroni a little stir with the spoon just to make sure it's not sticking together, and we'll let this cook. I'm a little bummed about my mustache. It's too bad I had to shave it. Just wasn't working out for this cooking demonstration. Maybe it'll be back in future videos. I hope. All right guys, it's been a few minutes. We got about 3.5 minutes left. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. Oh yeah, see, we turned it down. You can see it's a little foamy, but that's okay. A little foam's all right. It's not coming over the sides. That's looking real good. Give it a little stir. Well, let's make sure that before that timer goes off, we have everything we need in place so that when that's done, we can move on to the next step. The next step is going to be to drain the macaroni into a colander. Then we're gonna put it back in the pot and mix in all the other ingredients, the butter, the milk, and the cheese. So what I like to do next, when we're waiting for the timer to go off, is our butter is in a stick. We need 4 tablespoons. This is 8 tablespoons. So while I'm waiting for the timer to go off, I like to get my butter ready by cutting it. Again, this is one of those safety parts. Make sure you get your parents' help with this because you are gonna be using a knife. Even though you're just using a butter knife, it can still be dangerous. Get your parents' help. So we're just gonna cut right on 4 tablespoons. But now we have 4 tablespoons of butter and we're ready for that next step. We have about just over a minute left, so I went ahead and I'm gonna get my colander ready. This is a colander, it's a bowl with holes in it, nothing too fancy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this right in the sink. And this part is probably the most dangerous part of making macaroni and cheese because when this timer goes off, I'm actually gonna pick the pot up and I gotta drain it all the way over in the sink. So again, make sure your parents are helping you with these more dangerous parts, okay? Make sure they're watching you, make sure that they know what you're doing, and make sure they're helping you. All right, there goes the timer. So really carefully, you're gonna ask your parents to help you with this. I'm gonna turn the heat off. You don't need that anymore, turn that off. Very carefully lift this up. And actually I'm gonna pour away from me all the macaroni into the colander. I'm gonna take this over back, set it down on a place where that's safe. I'm gonna give this a little shake. Okay, here is Chef Delicioso Tomate's pro tip. What I like to do is I like to grab the butter. Some people just take the macaroni, put it right back in the pot, that works too. But I like the empty pot while it's still hot. Drop my butter in there and get it starting to melt. Put it right back on the burner is turned off, but it's still hot, right? So I put it right back on there to help the butter melt. And while that's melting a little bit, then I'll come back and very carefully, again, this is still very hot. I'll grab my macaroni and I'll dump it in. And then I'll get the butter mixed in with the macaroni. All right, and then I just gotta wait for that butter to melt. So the butter's almost melted. So right before it's almost melted, I went ahead and I prepared the final 2 ingredients. So we needed a 1/4 cup of milk, and then we got our cheese packet. Usually try and wait till the butter's mostly almost melted before adding in the milk because the milk is cold. The cold makes it harder for the butter to melt. But you wanna pour in the milk before the cheese because the milk is another ingredient that the cheese sticks to and it helps it get that nice creamy cheesy texture. So mix up the milk a little bit Oh, that's looking good. And grab the cheese packet. Do one of those. And give it a stir. All right, that is looking delicious. What I'd probably do is just add a little salt and pepper on that before you serve it, but that's ready to go. Let's give it a taste. Let's see how it turned out. That's macaroni and cheese. Easy, right? Remember, most important thing is your safety, making sure that you're doing this with your parents, making sure they know that you're doing this and you have their approval and their supervision. Make sure you wash your hands before you touch or you prepare any food. And then just follow the directions. We're gonna be doing other foods as well if you guys want. If you guys have any foods that are in your pantry that maybe you'd like to know how you cook that, let me know. Leave a comment on this post in your Google Classroom. But again, I know that this is kind of a different video than what I normally post, but I figured, you guys are at home a lot more and your parents might need some extra help, and it might be useful for you guys to know not only how to cook or the basics of cooking, but it might also be good for you guys to know all the effort and the work that goes into making meals every day. It's a lot of work that your parents are doing. So any help that you guys can offer, now you guys have a few skills that you might be able to help your parents with. I hope that this was a useful video from you. Chef Delicio Tomato is signing off, and we will see you guys in the next video.